Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the District to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 11th day of March 2015 at the hour of 6 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice has been posted at the office of the District on March 5th, 2015 at 11:45 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Opens Meeting Act, and a copy has been furnished to the County Clerk in Cameron County, Texas. This meeting is called to order. There is a quorum minus we're missing one board member, Scott Freeman. The notice of the meeting has been duly posted as required by law. Item 2, everybody rise to the pledge.
Slow down.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 is invitation to the audience for discussion. No one in the audience?
I just want to mention one thing that I did attend that the POWC, South Padre Island.
Okay.
It's
Property owners who care.
Property owners who cares. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty happy that I attended and I answered some of the questions. So just wanted to mention that.
Okay. They weren't yelling or screaming?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It's going to be a tough bunch.
Yeah.
They are people who care.
You don't want their legal team after you.
No.
They're nice.
Or their pocketbook.
They got money. All right. Item number 4, consider and approve the minutes for the regular meeting of February 25th, 2015. Get a motion, please. Motion by Mr. Thomas.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wells. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, General Manager's Report, Texas Retirement Specialist.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I did talk to Mr. James Poe. He's the owner of the Texas Retirement Specialist. And I did ask him some questions if he can, come by and do a presentation to the board and possibly also to the employees on the services that they provide. And they do mutual funds, they do 401ks, and I think I asked him about the 403b that y'all had mentioned, and he can look into it and let us know what there is out there. But he does one-on-one with the employees, and if anything, he would like to do a presentation to the board, and then after that, unless the board wants a workshop, because it does take time to get all the employees' attention, and whatever he needs to do, he can come back later. But if the board decides, let me know, and I can bring him in to do a workshop or just a presentation on explaining our retirement system, and then the rest of and see what the consequences are if we do change from our existing to the other plans that there are. So y'all decide if we can, just get him to do a presentation to you guys first.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the best.
Any comments?
Okay.
All right.
And I did provide a copy of their company newsletter.
I saw that.
The next thing that I wanted to mention is the refunding 2015, which were the 2007 revenue bonds. That they did complete the bidding process, and the company that the Regions Capital Advantage was the one that was the lowest bidder with complying with all the requirements of the bid. And what it is that they gave us a savings of 6.24 above the 5.50 that was requested by the board. So I believe we're going to get a good refund on that one. And let me see what else. They did complete all the paperwork, and Chairman has already signed the paperwork, and the secretary. So we're already in the process of getting all that taken care of right away before anything changes. So
Yeah, because they're saying interest rates may go up.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard today.
I think we need to get this done ASAP.
All the paperwork was sent
Yeah,
out,
we're
all the
in the
paperwork's already been
line.
sent out. I signed and
Yeah,
Martin
you got
signed.
it taken care of, so they have it, and they're
ASAP
working on
on
it.
this. I think that's a great savings.
They agreed on, and the bids, you know, like when they do the bidding process, they need to hold that price for
That's a lot
3
of
days
money.
or whatever it is, so, yep. We'll take care of it as soon as,
Let's do it.
they can.
Good.
We wanna bring it up to the whole board, that they, did a good job for us,
Yeah,
yeah.
awesome.
And I'm glad you guys insisted on the 5.5, because it surpassed it too.
Yeah, even went past that.
6.24.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
That's all I have for right now. Any other questions?
Any questions for the general manager? Nope. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
move on to item number 6, district engineers report.
All right, so the first two items I'll talk about together. One's the Laguna Vista gravity sewer renewal, which is Ebony and Taylor. And the other part is this FM 803 with TxDOT, where we need to extend the steel casing for their road widening project. And the plans and specs are already 100% for those two items, and they're going to be advertised starting tomorrow in the Brownsville Herald, and we'll be opening bids on April 14th at 2 o'clock. So I'll be presenting those bids to, on our second April board meeting for consideration. And that will also include the cured in place pipe to finish up lining all the sewer system over in the old part of Laguna Vista. So we're working on that right now. The next item on here is the water plant 2 emergency power. This one's an update where basically the conductors, we found out there was a short somewhere between the generator building and the transfer switch. And so we went out there in the field and had the contractor with half observing everything go out there and test the wires. And we did find 4 conductors that are bad and have to be replaced. And so we had done one shutdown about last week, just to disconnect some of these wires that need to be pulled. And so there is, we're going to go ahead and should be finishing up that work March 24th, where they have to pull new wire to replace the ones that are bad. And there's also something that's grounding that they need to troubleshoot as well. So our contractors are working on that, but basically until that's fixed up, the generator won't do its job. And so, we're kind of just going to get through this peak week since, Austin and Pan Am and half of our peak week is next week. We're going to let that go by first.
Mr. Thomas?
This water plant is our new water plant.
Yeah. Well, the way this started about a month ago is that 800 amp breaker kept tripping. And so we knew that there was an issue going on. And last week we finally went in there and checked for continuity. And then we found 4 conductors that had a short. They were bad. So those wires have to get replaced.
We just had a hell of a change order to add that generator because it somehow got left out of the original contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't any of this fall under a warranty item?
Well, yeah. I mean, all this is a repairable. There's no cost involved with this repair for us.
Okay, that's all I was
Okay. The contractor's doing this on their own dime to do all the repairs.
Good, that's just what I did.
Yeah, maybe
It's
that
not a
would have been a very
5-mile warranty.
part
Well, we can do it wrong 3 times and we'll charge you 4th time, then we'll charge you 4th time.
No, but this is handle as a warranty claim.
Okay, very good.
All right, and then the final item was just for the Port Isabel wastewater treatment plant phase 1 improvements. For the Water Development Board, they have annual funding cycles where you can request for funds, and so you need to be on their intended use plan to be considered for a state revolving fund. In this case, it would be Clean Water State Revolving Funds, and the deadline to submit your project information was March 2nd. And so, went ahead and got that submitted by about 5 o'clock on that Monday, and I included a copy of the project information form there in the board packet, so you can see, what got submitted to the state for consideration. So what they're going to do is create a priority list, and then probably send out invitations in August and September, depending on who makes the first funding line, so we'd have the opportunity to, do a funding application at that point. And so the way I came up with that amount that we're requesting of that 1.6 million on that range, that's going to be the remainder of Proposition 1 that we haven't issued yet. So that'll help cover our wastewater treatment like we had discussed in the workshop. So I was just kind of bringing that to your attention so you can be aware of where we're sitting on it.
Okay, now that's grants from the Texas Water Development Board?
No, this will be loan, but the thing is, out of that loan, about 1.1 million is eligible for green infrastructure. And so depending on how we qualify, there's a potential to get like a 10-15% grant tied to that portion. But we don't know until we find out how we make the priority list.
So how we rate after they score it?
I'm still trying to figure out what all we're gonna get for 1.6.
Well, the 1.6 million, all it is it's the shortage that we have today, because we have a pending balance in the 2016, the 2012 bonds, and then we have our SDC money for the sewer. But then for us to complete the improvements we want at Andy Bowie, Isla Blanca, and Port Isabel, that's the additional money we need that's not in the bank today.
Okay, it's not just for the rerouting of our affluent line coming off the Port Isabel plant.
Right. This application is 100% of that phase one that was shown in the master plan.
Okay.
Okay. I was confused on that.
Yeah, I mean, what the design portion we could probably already proceed with because we have enough money in the bank to cover it. But construction is where we're running it short, and we probably need to get some kind of loan. So,
Well, have you looked at the possibility of, there were some funds not, we didn't go out for some bond money?
well,
Remember
that's
the voters authorized 22 million, I think we only went out for 21 point something, and
Right.
there's some other money we can go out for?
yeah. And,
Or is
and-
that included in your,
well, like, cause right now my total project cost request is 1,672,425,
right?
and I'm really figuring that's actually tax revenue that's unissued from Proposition 1 when we actually take out that loan. That's probably how it's going to get repaid through our tax bond.
For a tax bond, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha. All right, any other questions for the engineer? Let's move on to item number 7, Director of Operations report, Mr. Victor.
Okay, I had a few things for the month. I know the wastewater collection department ended up, we flushed all our main lines on Laguna Boulevard and Gulf Boulevard in preparation for spring break, so that we wouldn't have any backups. Hopefully, it'll cut down the sewer backups that we're gonna be having. We did have a leak on our force main here on Woods Lane. I think that one we've already had about 3 so far, so we might look into having us replace that whole line in the future. The distribution side, for the month we only have about 3 water leaks. It's been kind of rainy the whole month, and we did get a couple of calls from Retama where we were putting that new line. Now customers are finally calling saying that we left dirt back there or something. But kind of hard to say that it's us because when we dug out, we put in a new line, we used the same dirt to fill it back up, and we leveled everything off, and we took pictures. So they kind of went with the city and with South Padre Island, and they backed us up too, saying, just everything, you all have to fix yourself, whatever's left out there. So they're fine with that. And the meter side, we did, for the month of February, we did swap 29 meters throughout the whole system. We did 3 1-inch meters and 2 2-inch meters that we changed out, and then we had about 21 5/8 meters that we swapped out. So that should be helping us out with the billing that we're doing, getting more accurate reading. Just an update on the circus, the Kelly Miller Circus. Customer service did call to the main office, and they wanted the invoice sent. She sent it out. The invoice was for $4,196.08. So hopefully we'll be seeing some of that money on the way back. We did get the TML claim for the catalytic converters. We did get that in. The total amount that was distributed was $75.97.21, but there was a deductible of $2,500. So our amount that we received was $5,097.21.
What was that?
For the catalytic converters that were stolen from the insurance, we got, $5,097.21 back from the damage. And, that's it.
We still haven't spent $1,000 that we advertised for.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Haven't heard nothing on it.
Nothing,
Yeah, nothing, that kinda went, talked to Mando, last week, I went, go talk to him and I asked him about it, it just kinda died, there's nothing else. He just said the same thing, they're 89% sure they know who it is, but they can't tie him to anything, so,
That's what the chief told me too.
yeah. And that's all I have to.
Okay. All right, any questions for the Director of Operations? All right, let's move on to item number 8, discussion and action regarding bids received on the following property struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions from a tax resale conducted on November 4, 2014.
Mr. Chairman, we have Roy Ortiz, who's doing the presentation here.
Okay.
And it's the same sales and purchase, and they want to go back and that the board approve the tax payments and everything that goes back to the district.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Galvan. Mr. Chairman, board members, my name is Rogelio Ortiz. I work with the Linebarger firm, and basically we're in charge of collecting property taxes and then enforcing the sale when necessary. And that's exactly what we have here. We've got one piece of property where we took judgment on, and then really the best way to enforce that judgment is to put these properties up for sale. And in this particular instance, we've set this property up for sale and didn't receive either the minimum, the lesser of either the taxes owed or the value of the property. So we set it up for resale, and again didn't receive that minimum threshold. So what happens at that point is that we take private offers, and that's exactly what we have here. We've got a private offer in the amount of $3,300. And what that means for you folks is that you recover 80.6% of the delinquent taxes owed in this account. This property is 2.5 acres, and it is a 50% undivided interest. This does require unanimous approval by the 3 entities that would be receiving taxes on this. And so that's basically what we're requesting. At 80.6%, I think that's a good number.
Where is Laguna Vista Club subdivision?
I believe there is a plot map that was included. I know there's a photo there.
Rangers. Pardon?
I missed it. Did you find out where subdivision is on 510?
I'm sorry?
What are on 510?
Yeah, it's off of 510.
10% of the total amount. Of the total amount, right. And then, you're right, I put the breakdown of the different entities that would be receiving that.
It says South Holly Beach Road,
Yes.
this one, yeah. Casanera about it,
Oh, it's on South Holly Beach Road.
that's what it says, yeah. All right, very good.
Any questions?
Any questions, gentlemen? All right, very good. Let's move on to item, well, do we need action on that one?
No, not,
The next item, I
The
believe.
next item, let's move to item 9, discussion and possible action on resolution approving the bids received on tax resale conducted on November 4, 2014 for the above-mentioned properties.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good
All right.
evening, gentlemen.
All right, appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all.
That road goes through there, that'll look like pretty good buy.
It's gonna go up.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing.
That's why she bought it.
That must be the road going left, right? That's the one that goes left.
You have your own guy for
Rumors got
for the
property
bridge.
back in there too.
Right.
The old Rumors. All right. Item 10, consider and approve to reopen water and wastewater SDC accounts.
yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I believe in, probably about September of last year, we closed the accounts because they were like idle, but we need to reopen the accounts back and, so we can make sure how much deposit, because there's deposits coming in, like every month. for the reason that we're doing taps and, you know, so there's funds coming in from the water and funds from the wastewater. So we need to open those two accounts back. We just need the
Did
board to
we,
agree on that.
did we, the board approved to close those
Yes.
accounts? We did. The
Well-
SDC accounts.
Who are those with?
IBC.
Oh, cool. Oh, I know Justin.
Why
No,
did we,
this is
why
just
did we
the
close them if we need them open?
Uh,
Somebody had to give us a pitch to go ahead and close these accounts.
Yep, they were just, idle and they moved some funds, to actually use some of the SDC funds for the wastewater, treatment plant and the water treatment plant. They, used some of those funds, so they actually, closed them. But we need to open them back and.
They need to be open because
Yes.
when we pull money out of it, it's gonna look bad. If we just have it in the general fund, it's gonna look bad on our accounting at the end of the fiscal year, that we're overspending what we're bringing in if we don't have these accounts open.
And the amounts are already in there, you know,
Yeah.
Well,
we know how much is in each account. We just need to open an account for that and.
A line
put
item.
funds in there.
A line item,
Mhm.
correct.
Why did we close them?
I don't know.
well, plus on the general ledger, these two items have always stayed on the general ledger. They've never been taken off of that.
Oh, they've never been taken over,
No.
okay, all right.
They're in.
But you're talking about the individual accounts at the bank, separate bank account,
Right, that's what's gonna get reopened.
with a separate,
I'll move to reopen.
all right, very good. Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Wells opposes. Motion carries. Item 11, consider and approve chlorine dioxide generator trial extension at water treatment plant number 2 with Evoqua Water Technologies. Charles?
All right, and so basically when we started that trial, we had done a 90-day proposal, and so that carried us through December, January, and February. And so this is an extension to that trial to go ahead and keep running that chlorine dioxide over at Water Plant 2. And so we're requesting a 5-month extension, which would be from March 1st through July 31st. And so that's a rental fee of $500 per month. And then also there's a price increase on the Altachlor, which is the sodium chloride, from 80 cents to 84 cents a pound. And so for this period, we're expecting to use 56,500 pounds of chemical. And then if we're talking 5 months of rental, when you add those two, we're requesting an amount of $49,960 for this authorization.
Run that one by me again.
Well,
We haven't changed the point of injection yet?
no, this
Am I
is,
correct in remembering at the last meeting, we were injecting prior to the microfiltration?
yes,
And
and
the microfiltration was so fine, it's basically taken some of this stuff out.
well, yeah, I mean, this chlorine dioxide is for our to remove the organics and take care of that virus inactivation that's only done through chemicals.
Okay, but are we gonna inject it on the incoming side, or are we gonna inject it on the outflow of the microfiltration?
On the incoming side, like right after we pump the water off the reservoir, we inject chlorine dioxide in that pipe.
Okay.
Right at
It's
that
actually
point.
gonna stay at the same spot that it is now.
Right.
It's just that we're trying to extend the agreement, utilize it for another 3 months because the other chemicals need to be switched over, that the state needs to approve.
Yeah, we're yeah, this is just a contract extension to keep using our chlorine dioxide through the end of July. And then to stay on schedule, I need to come up with a permanent setup by August, basically.
You're talking $49,000?
Yeah, $49,960.
Where's that money coming from?
I was going to open it under the same microfiltration project account on Series 2012 since it's related.
And again, once we approve, or the state approves a pilot, we're gonna keep using it. We're not gonna stop using it, so
It's just
it's
gonna
one of
stay
those
there.
things that we need to use it. And it does, on the other hand, it's helping conserve the other chemicals, because you're not utilizing too many of the other chemicals to control the organics in there.
Yeah, for next fiscal year, we'll get it in the budget, on our general operating fund. But since it wasn't budgeted, we can carry out the rest of this year probably on the microfiltration project.
Okay. All right, very good. Any other questions? We get a motion, please? No motion? They're still reading.
Okay,
Okay, that's fine.
that's right, yeah, I mean,
Well, the thing is that we're still gonna need,
yeah,
to utilize it.
yeah, and basically, all it is a contract extension from what we approved back in November.
And if we don't do it, we're gonna be having to publish a lot of stuff in the newspaper over the next year.
Well, if we don't use it, basically, we have to stop the chlorine dioxide and whatever consequences go with that. I mean, as far as having to, yeah, it'd be a mess, as far as forcing a big change in our operators.
So we have to have this stuff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does the current contract state a certain price in the amount per pound?
Yeah, the existing contract is 80 cents.
Okay, and does it allow them to actually increase it, or are they increasing it because of the new contract? I know that they're increasing it because it's costing them more, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if the old contract had a set price, and if they're just raising that.
Well, they're raising it based on market conditions. I mean, right now, really, the chlorine dioxide producers don't want any new orders, but they'll keep servicing existing. And we're ordering it in small drums versus a truckload, and that's, so considering that we're ordering in 55-gallon drums, I mean, we're getting a pretty good price.
So you want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we do this.
All right, motion by Mr. Wells to extend the contract until July 31st, 2015. Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, consider and approve emergency rehab for lift station 12 and a 5% increase on collection manhole rehab project.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, on this one, lift station 12, which is the one here on Champion Street, that's the one we had talked about earlier in past meetings, we got the invoice in, it was for $9,950, and I do have some pictures of it, I just didn't bring them, but it's brand new. I mean, it looks like a brand new lift station. They resurfaced the whole inside. They had to add probably about 6 to 8 inches of cement on the inside of the wall just to make it sturdy again. They did put a new entrance on the top part, so that was for that one. And then the manhole rehab, the original price we had was $25,840, and we got the invoice for that one. They had to do just a little bit extra work, and the new price is $26,108. It's not that big of a difference, just a 5% increase. Just asking so we get the invoice so we can pay it off.
Okay. Any questions?
We don't get multiple bids on these, we just use these guys.
No, this was already a contract in place, and I think it was just.
Yeah, the manhole was already contracted in place, and then the lift station was an emergency because the top part had collapsed.
With Klausner.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, we have a motion, please. Motion by Mr. Thomas.
second.
Second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, consider and ratify pump and power equipment purchase of a 10 horsepower pump for lift station at Andy Bowie wastewater plant.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this one, right now we only have one 10 horsepower pump working at the lift station at Andy Bowie wastewater plant, and that services Bahia Mar down north all the way to the shores. So right now with only having one pump, TCQ requires to have 2 pumps, and it went down just a couple weeks ago. We needed to get one in emergency, so we got this one in just so we can have it in time for what's coming up. The one that's there existing right now, we did have problems with it in the beginning, so that's why we wanted to move and get this new one in there just in case anything happens, so we won't have any problems in the next.
So the backup's running right now?
Yes.
And then, okay, this is gonna be the new one. All right. All right. Question, Mr. Thomas?
Is this thing gonna meet the specs of the new pump motors that we're putting in?
Andy Bowie?
Yeah. Aren't we putting in a bunch of new, I know we're putting in a bunch of new blower motors.
Blowers.
Okay, this isn't part of that.
No, this is not part
Okay,
of it.
this is strictly a lift station type
Yes,
pump?
it's the lift station pump.
Okay.
Good question. All right, any other questions? Can we get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells. Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 14, consider and ratify Turbonetics Engineering and Services to repair the blower at Isla Blanca wastewater plant.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this one was the one where, we had spoke about them earlier, where, we had a power outage, and we had a bad, airline, and water came back in, and it got them all filled up with water. We did send it out to get repaired, well, they went go, they gave it the scope of work, and, they were the only one that could repair it, so the price was for 18,000, plus, and, this one, there is another one that, there were two, so this is the first one out of both of them. The other one is still, they're still taking it apart, trying to see how much it's gonna cost to fix it.
There's our blower motor. That's
Now,
what
these
I
are the
was-
blowers that we're gonna be eventually replacing.
Yes, yes. And the only thing that, the only thing that with these,
We're gonna spend a couple hundred to replace it.
the only thing that, why we're getting these repaired is because these two are the newer ones than the older ones, so we need these.
Oh, these are the newer ones,
These are the
haven't,
new
oh,
ones
okay.
that-
New ones, but, from what year?
95, the newer one, not the 73 with the other.
Okay, not the,
These are the new 20-year-old.
these are the new 20-year-old ones.
Can Isla Blanca run on
There's
three
no
blowers?
way,
In the summer?
we know we're putting in blower motors over there. Yes, there's no way we can't get one of the new blower motors over there, put it in place, make the modifications, just like we did out at Las Cuates. It cost us $10,000 extra. That brand new pump at Las Cuates saved us $10,000 in 4 months. And ran for over a year, okay? We're gonna repair a 20-year-old, they're a little older Invictor, right, yeah. Two of them. And then, what are we gonna do with it? Rent it out? You know, we're talking about, what, 18, 19 grand here.
That's just the first one, the
That's
second
the
one.
first
is-
I know. Charles, scratch your head, yeah, what we're doing is, like my dad used to say, it's kind of like we're gonna be in the cash register, starting to run into money here.
We're buying
But
time.
we've got new stuff coming up pretty quick.
Right, and so the issue is trying to get a turbo compressor in place for the summer, which is now, and I don't think we'll make it through the summer on 3 blowers versus getting these 2 fixed.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I heard from Pablo, that he was gonna utilize the newer ones, you know, like this one here, probably the newer one, as a standby.
Well, these are gonna be the standby whenever we get the new turbo blowers.
Right, that's what
Right.
These two are gonna be the standby, so we're still gonna have them there.
I think we have 5 there, right?
Yeah,
5?
yes, we have 5 blowers.
And 2 are the newer ones and 3 are the
And
old ones?
three of the
We're
original.
gonna have 3 new ones.
There's been no engineering done to bring in these new turbo blowers anyway.
No, well, you know,
Well, they-
there's,
That's
that,
the
Square E Engineering has delivered a preliminary set, and since Corolla's getting involved, they're reviewing the plan set right now, so it's not something we can put out for bid tomorrow.
No.
Right, because all the, wires, electrical wires need to be replaced. too.
Yeah, we're looking at a new electrical service at Isla Blanca and switchgear and
That's the other thing.
all kinds of stuff.
All right. Mr. Thomas?
So basically, the answer to my question is no.
All right. When it rains, it pours.
And, I got advice from our legal counsel here, that we can look into, our insurance, TML, and see if they can do something, you know. Really, it doesn't hurt to try.
I thought at the lift station, sometimes you might want to look at the declarations page, because sometimes there may be coverage for equipment breakdown under the declarations page, so you may look into that if it's possible.
Yeah, that'll help,
Right.
yeah.
But irregardless, this is an emergency one, this is something that's already been done, and we need to pay it.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells, all those in favor say aye.
I hate doing that.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15, consider and approve disbursements. Questions, comments, disbursements, coffee mate?
I was wondering about that coffee mate, yeah. And I couldn't figure out what this fancy new legal firm was until I realized it's a legal firm. We just,
I'm not charging
you know.
credit.
And I was looking
Eddie's gonna
up,
pay you back later.
I said, looked in there and I says, who are these coyotes? Where's these guys come from? I got it. Under disbursements, I'm not gonna bother with it under the electric bill. I was looking for the Las Cuatras, and, I still think we got a problem on the river front, but we can take that up later. There's no point stretching this thing out.
All right, do we have a motion to approve disbursements?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells,
Second.
second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 16, executive session permitted by the Open Meeting Act, BTCA Government Code Section 551.001, under Section 551.074A1, authorizing certain deliberations about officers and employees of the district to be held in executive session to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a district employees, to wit, the Director of Finance. We have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. 5-minute break.
Second. Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. 5-minute recess.
Motion to come out of executive session at 7:10 p.m.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 17, consider an action on executive session item to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of district employees, to wit, the Director of Finance. Do we have any motions on the floor?
What's her last name?
Garcia.
Garcia? Okay, I'll make a motion that Carlos enters into negotiations with San Juan Garcia as far as employment at step 1 on our pay scale, and authorizing him to offer her step 1 on our pay scale.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Wells,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm opposed. Motion carries 3-1. Item 18, meeting adjourned.